Hey everyone, in this video we will be learning about the basic concepts of shell scripts. By the end of this video, we will be knowing about layer design of OS, what is shell, types of shell, peek into shell, shell programming, special variables, echo command, special files, read statement, command substitution, quoting, command line arguments and positional parameters. Okay then, let's get started. The picture that you can see on the screen is the layer design of the operating system. It comprises of 4 layers, that is the hardware, kernel, shell and the layer that has the other software. Coming to the innermost layer, the smallest circle in the diagram is the machine's hardware. The next layer is the kernel, which is the core of the operating system, the hub we can say. It basically gives us many services. It is a computer program that manages input-output requests from software. It provides us with the functions like resource allocation, memory allocation, process management, input-output management and protection management. The layer after this is the shell. It is basically the interface between the user and the kernel. We will learn more about it in a few minutes. The last layer is the layer that comprises of the softwares such as spreadsheets, database, browsers, etc. Now, coming to our topic, what is shell? The shell acts as an interface between the user and the kernel, as we have already told. When a user logs in, the login program checks the username and password and then starts another program called the shell. The shell is a command line interpreter. It interprets the command the user types in and arranges for them to be carried out. As we know the definition of shell, now let's see the type of shells. In Unix, there are 2 types of shell, that is Bourne shell and C shell. This picture shows us the different type of shells. Basically, the shell is divided into Bourne shell and C shell. The Bourne shell is the original Unix shell developed in the Bell Labs by Steve Bourne and hence the name. This Bourne shell is divided into Corn shell and Born Again shell. Again, the Corn shell was also developed in the Bell Labs by David Korn, whereas the Born Again shell is a public domain shell written by the GNU initiative by the Free Software Foundation. The C shell was written at the University of California and the TC shell can be considered as the next stage of C shells, which is available in the public domain. Now, let's have a peek into the shell activities. The shell provides you with an interface to the Unix system. It gathers input from you and executes the program based on that input. When a program finishes executing, it displays that program's output. A shell is an environment in which we can run our commands, programs and shell scripts. The prompt $, which is called the command prompt, is issued by the shell. While the prompt is displayed, you can type a command. This is how a command prompt looks like. This is the user and this is the date command that we have typed. After pressing enter, this is the output that we get. Date is the command that displays the system date and time. Now, as we know about what a shell is, types and the command prompt, let's see shell programming. First, we'll start off with shell variables. It is almost like the normal variables that we use in C programming. Coming to the definition, a variable is a character string to which we assign a value. The shell enables us to create, assign and delete variables. The name of a variable can contain only letters or numbers or the underscore character. We have to note that we cannot use the other characters such as the exclamatory mark, star or dash because these characters already have a special meaning in the shell. As examples, we can take var1 and var2. How to define a variable? The syntax is this. We have taken two examples, var1 equal to 2 and var2 equal to Rama. In the first example, a numerical value has been assigned to variable 1, and in the second example, a string value has been assigned to the variable. Now, as we know what a variable is and how to define it, let's see how to access it. This is a command prompt that you can see. On it, if you type name equal to Sam and echo $name, Sam has been given as the output. Basically, echo is the command that is similar to the printf statement of the C programming. About echo, we will learn after a few minutes. Here, you just have to know that by giving $name, we have accessed the value of Sam. Now, let's see the types of variables. Basically, there are two types of variables, string valued variables and environmental variables. In string valued variables, the variable names should begin with the letter or digit or an underscore. Taking this example, name equal to Ram and underscore eng branch equal to ISC, and the output that we get is this. Here, name and underscore eng branch are the string valued variables. The second type is the environmental variables. These variables are generally written in uppercase letters to avoid confusion with the other variables. Environment is an important concept in Unix, and this is defined by environmental variables. Few of these variables are set by the system and few others by you. At times, we need to assign a particular set of values to the variables and keep using them time to time. And this is where the environmental variables come into picture. We have listed a few environmental variables here. Home, which indicates the home directory of the current user. Term, which indicates the display type or the terminal type. Path, which is the search path for commands. It is a colon separated list of directories in which the shell looks for command, and shell, which tells us about the type of the shell used. To know which variables are already defined as environmental variables, we can use the command set. Now, let's learn about special variables. These variables are reserved for specific functions in Unix. These are the special variables, that is 0, n, hash, star, at, question mark, dollar and exclamatory mark. That is, if you type $0, the file name of the current script is got. If you type $hash, the number of arguments supplied to a script is got, and so on. Echo command. We already came across this command in our video. To elaborate, this command is used to display a line of text. And the syntax is this. Taking an example, on the command prompt, when you type echo, this is the video, this is the output got. Echo can also be used in these two ways, that is, written inside double quotes and the lines written inside single quotes, and the output remains the same. The different options for echo command are, and the description for them are. The topic that we're going to see now is special files in shell. The special files in shell is divided into character special file and block special file. In character special file, when the character special file is used for device input-output, the data is transferred one character at a time, and this access is called raw device access. And when a block special file is used For device input-output, the data is transferred in large fixed-sized blocks, and this type of access is called block device access. The read statement. Read is used to get the input data from the user from the keyboard and store the data into the variable. The syntax is as follows. Before explaining this example, let me tell you how to write a shell program and how to execute it. On the terminal, type gedit followed by the program name .sh. This box will be opened. Write the program in it and save. On the terminal again, when you type shprogram.sh, the program will be executed and this is the output that you get. Here, it asks for the first name, and since read fname is given in the program, it takes input from the keyboard and displays this output. An interesting topic in shell programming is command substitution. It is the mechanism by which the shell performs a given set of commands and then substitutes their output in the place of the commands. The syntax is this. Please note that the command substitution is done using the back quote and not the single quote character. We have used a very easy example to explain the concept of command substitution. The command written inside the back quote is substituted. The tty command is used to display the terminal type. We can see in the other two cases the command is not substituted. Before understanding quoting, we have to know what meta characters are. The characters which have special meaning while using them in any shell script and causes termination of a word unless quoted are meta characters. These are the meta characters. A character may be quoted by preceding it with a backslash. The four types of quotings and their description is given in this table. To understand quoting better, let's analyze this example. Coming to the double quotes, anything written between them loses its special meaning except for dollar and a few other characters that we mentioned in the table. So, this is the output that we get. Coming to the single quotes, anything written in between them loses its special meaning and hence this output. Coming to the backslash, any character immediately following the backslash will lose its special meaning and therefore this is the output got. Now we come to our last topic, that is command line arguments and positional parameters. The command line arguments $1, $2 till $9 are positional parameters with $0 pointing to the actual command or program or shell script or function, and $1, $2, $3 so on till $9 as the arguments to the command. The positional parameters can be used to pass information to a script. If we consider this example, $0 would contain hello123, $1 would contain greetings, $2 would contain the word to, and $3 would contain the word you. These points have to be noted when we are dealing with command line arguments and positional parameters. Within the script, we refer to the first argument as $1, the second argument as $2, and so on. $0 stands for the name of the command itself. $* stands for all the arguments from $1 on up. These numbered arguments are referred to as positional parameters, and $# represents the number of arguments. Finally, we are at the end of this video and we hope you all learned the basic concepts of shell scripts. Thank you.